Time is now 5 p.m. Going to call to order the Finance and Purchasing Committee meeting for August 15th, 2022. Roll call, please.
Present.
Present.
Present. Item C, approval of minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes for which minutes am I? Let me get the minutes. Was that July 20? Not on my agenda here. It's Sherry. Sherry, what was the date for those minutes? Thank you. July 18th. Are there any questions to the motion? The minutes?
No.
Were they there? No. I don't remember seeing any. I don't have any here. I don't remember seeing any. We'll have them at the next meeting? Our minutes? Okay. Item D, public comment. Is there anyone that wants to speak on anything on the Purchasing and Finance Committee agenda? Being none, we'll move to new business. Motion, item A, motion to approve the annual grant to Waukegan Main Street in the amount of $25,000. In 2002, the city of Waukegan was designated as Illinois Main Street Community. Waukegan Main Street implements the Main Street approach, and as a non-for-profit 501c3 organization, Waukegan Main Street receives support from all sectors of the community: residents, small business owners, property owners, developers, the city of Waukegan, and other entities such as Park District, Port District, Public Library, etc. These partnerships have helped Waukegan Main Street to lead the way toward a more vibrant downtown that is drawing people and activities back to its core. Motion by Alderman Florian, second by Alderman Rivera. Are there any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes. Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Houston.
Aye.
Alderman Washington. Aye.
Motion carried. Item B, motion to approve the 2022 Tourism Community Marketing Partnership in the amount of $32,500 with the Lake County, Illinois Convention and Visitors Bureau. The Waukegan Public Relations Department respectfully requests authorization to pay for the Tourism Community Marketing Partnership with Visit Lake County. Visit Lake County and the City of Waukegan have a long-standing partnership, marketing partnership to enhance the value of the visitor economy to your community. This report describes the highlights of our partnership with Waukegan and your return on investment from our deliverables during the past 12 months. Motion by
Seconded.
motion by Alderman Florian, second by Alderman Hayes. Do you want to speak?
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to make sure that we invited Maureen Reedy from the Visitors Bureau here to answer any questions and to give you a quick summary of the ROI document that was attached to the invoice. Maureen?
It's always nice to say hello to you and to thank you for your sponsorship. It's been going on for years and years. We've had this marketing partnership, and David doesn't like to say anything, but you know, he is our board chair now, so he's like technically my boss, so. But I appreciate his vision and leadership and you know, his creativity. So we promote so many things in Waukegan. There's so many events, and if you looked at the ROI last year, we had 318 events and festivals that we promoted in Waukegan. So that's through blogs and social media and our weekend watch columns and public relations. So you have a lot going on. Even though we were still kind of dealing with the pandemic, you really did have a lot here to promote, which is great. So that's really our strong point, is to get people to our website and promote the things you've got going on here in Waukegan to really keep you on the map and, you know, keep your profile elevated. We also do a lot with sports marketing, and that's one of the first markets that came back. So we've worked with your park district on bringing some sports tournaments, particularly soccer tournaments, to your fields, and that's been great, again, to kind of to reinvigorate that visitor economy and get the families here and staying in your hotels and, you know, spending money at your local restaurants too. So that's been a really good market, and it's been great to see that one come back so strong during the pandemic. So we, you know, there's been a lot of labor shortages. The hotels are still dealing with that. They're making adjustments, and I think they need us even more than ever now to help with marketing. They just do not have the support staff to do the marketing they need to kind of keep recruiting for additional business for Waukegan. So we really thank you for, you know, your support through the years and this partnership, which is part of a regional organization. So all the communities in Lake County work together to promote Lake County as a great tourism destination.
All right, are there any questions? Alderman Florian?
You mentioned our park district. Do they pay a fee like we do towards this?
Yeah, they pay a small fee so that they can actually have some of their facilities really called out and on our, like in our visitors map guide, that kind of thing. But yeah, so every year we talk to them about what they want to have really highlighted. So yeah, they pay a fee to have a couple of their attractions and some of their park facilities mentioned. Yeah, because we're a public-private partnership, so we've got the community partnerships, and then we also have business partnerships too. So it's good in that respect, because then businesses have made an investment as well. So we promote everything in Waukegan, but there are some partners or businesses that want to be elevated a little bit more, so they're called out in promotional materials and things.
Thank you.
Are there any, Alderman Hayes?
Are there any gaps that you see in our marketing kind of campaign, or areas that we can do better, aside from contributing more money potentially? But is it the beach? Like, is there can we do a better job of attracting people to the lakefront, or, you know, the casino's coming, but is there anything that you think needs improvement?
Yeah, you do such a good job of promoting your events, but I think we help elevate that, and just keeping us aware of what's happening here. I think there's always that need to have a really ongoing communication, and that's what David Motley and his team do a really good job. Yeah, I think the harbor area, we'd love to do as much as we can to promote that harbor area. I think there's probably some opportunities there to promote that for boating and other water recreational activities as well. Sure. I think the beach, we got, pretty good handle on that, but I always feel like, there's opportunities with the harbor. It's such a beautiful harbor too, and getting more people to come to that harbor and then experience Waukegan as well, and get out and, spend money around town.
Okay, that's good. Two more points. The fireworks for Waukegan were changed to September over Labor Day weekend. Is that something that you'll be promoting? Okay,
yes.
Great.
Saw that, yep.
And then if, in the back of my mind, I've been kind of noodling the thought of some sort of running race in the city, and I don't know what that looks like. Maybe it's like a half marathon or a 10K, something. Is that, if that could be brought together, is that something that you could help?
Yes,
Would that be part of whatever it is we pay, that you
Yes.
could promote that?
Yeah, we'd love to have that opportunity. I think, yeah, there hasn't been as many of the races. Some of them were cut back during COVID. So, yeah, I think there's a real opportunity with that. And anything you can do to bring people to the downtown area,
Yep.
I think is a great idea.
Like a start and finish in downtown or near the lakefront or
Yeah.
something? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alderman Moiseo?
Little history column, we did have a mini triathlon here for a couple of years, but they didn't want to pay for the city services. So we had it, and we came and we said, hey, this is what it's going to cost us overtime to do this. And they said, thanks, we'll go somewhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I didn't know that. I'd love to see that. The beachfront's perfect.
They didn't want to pay.
Yeah. It's expensive.
Depending on how big it is, which got, public works, fire, police, blocking off streets and all this that.
Yep.
And we had it for a while, but then we went to them and said, hey, you gotta pay for some of this, and they said, goodbye.
Something to look at again.
I mean, not that it could happen, I'm
Yeah.
just giving you a little tradition that we had it before. But
Yeah, yeah, it's good to know. I didn't know that. All right.
Worth considering though, yeah, exploring, yeah, we'd be
Okay.
happy to help.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Any more questions? Roll call, please. Thank you, Maureen.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Newsom,
Aye.
Alderman Waukegan. Aye.
Motion carried. Item C, motion to adopt a resolution retroactively approving an agreement with Interstate Power Systems Incorporated for emergency repairs to the E3 fire engine and authorizing the expenditure for future emergency repairs in the aggregate amount of $80,000 pursuant to City of Waukegan Code of Ordinances exemption of bona fide emergency waiver. Can I get a motion?
I'll motion.
Motion by Alderman Rivera. Second by Alderman Florian. Are there any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Aye.
Alderman Waukegan.
Motion carried. Item D, motion to adopt a resolution authorizing city officials to accept a $200,000 grant from the Illinois Department of Human Services to fund the Youth and Employment Training Program. With the sponsorship of Illinois State Senator Johnson, the City of Waukegan has received a $200,000 grant from the Illinois Department of Human Services to fund a youth employment and training program for the period of July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. This funding will provide job opportunities to enhance future employability of economically disadvantaged youth 14 to 24 years old. The city has completed the necessary application and program budget to hire part-time employees in public works, building and planning, police, and the municipal beach. Can I get a motion?
I'll motion.
Alderman Rivera. Second by Alderman Florian. Are there any questions to this motion?
I just have a comment.
Alderman Hayes.
Generally, I'd just like to ask the other aldermen to think about creative ways that the money could be used. We hear time and time again from the police chief or the fire chief or different areas of city services that they can't find people to fill, say, the role of a vacancy for a police officer. And they talk about building the pipeline, an employment pipeline. And this might be a really good opportunity. Greg, you probably have some insight into this as well, to get kids, even if it's 2 hours after school, it can be anything. It could be washing fire trucks or shadowing somebody in dispatch, just some sort of tangible connection to what city employees do is going to open their eyes to a whole new world. And maybe they never go in that direction employment-wise, but literally it can be anything. Maybe it's a ride along with Public Works or anyone, but just to pique a kid's interest and open their eyes to different opportunities. I mean, we have the money, and I'm not sure that it's necessarily been, we know generally what it's needed for or what it's going to be used for, but I don't think it's been earmarked for anything specific to like a specific job training program. So if we could develop that, if you guys have any ideas, I'm certainly thinking about it, and I think everyone's open to anything. So, but building that pipeline, that's the problem that we see, is that we can't attract talent, and you have to develop the talent. So, and create those opportunities. And for whatever it's worth, if people can get exposure at a younger age to what the police department really does, it kind of builds that community connection that we've been talking about. And it may take years, a generation, in fact, but people will have that connection to our officers, to the fire department, to the people at City Hall, to Public Works. And I think it's a win-win. So.
We used to call police community service, that's not called police auxiliary, something like that. And we used to have that, and of course, we got money problems with that, and now we need to bring it back. Everything you said, all this is right on point. We need to try to do something to get, to back to better work, get the hooks in the kids to find out, hey, I tell kids all the time at high school, so much in life is finding out what you don't want to do. There's nothing wrong doing, some kids do what they want to do. some kids are like, I have no idea what I want to do with my life. I said, well, you got to do a lot of things because you got to sort of filter out what you don't want to do in life. And you're like, okay, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. And then you're going to find something you do want to do. But you're exactly right. This wouldn't be that hard, like you said, just a little bit to get kids involved in something. That's a great idea.
Yeah, maybe one of the paths we could take is to get in touch with some of the teachers at the schools and say, hey, can you recommend 2 or 3 kids in your class? And it could be 2 or 3 kids that excel in a particular subject that we could send them out to the water plant and they can work there. Or kids that are struggling and just, idle hands can sometimes find trouble. So we can get them in some sort of, program's the wrong word, but get them some exposure to, what else is out there. So maybe that's something we could do is reach out to some of the teachers and get some recommendations.
I worked at Public Works for, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years when I was like all of us, there were like 50 of us. We all worked at Public Works. Yeah. I mean, again, there's no downside to it. I agree with you.
Okay.
Any more questions? Alderman Florian?
I agree with what they're saying. I do see that it says right in here, the funding will provide job opportunities to enhance future employability of economically disadvantaged youth, 14 to 24. So there are some parameters around this, but I also think that we could tie this into, we hear constantly from the public in audience time about how we need to do more to prevent violence in this community. And I think that if we can wrap something like this around a violence prevention program by reaching out to kids who are at risk for those kind of behaviors, I mean, there's ways of identifying kids that are on that path, right? And so if we can work with, I don't know, Boys and Girls Club or, David's soccer group or, whoever's out there working with kids already and knows some of these kids that may be on the verge or whatever you want to say that need some direction, if we could tie this into that, I think that would also be a very good idea.
Yeah, that's in the next item that we have on the agenda.
I know that
Item E.
Well, I know that there's money specifically for
Yes.
that, but I'm saying that if we can tie this into that, I think we would be smart to do that.
Yeah, are there any more questions on the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Hagan,
Aye.
Florian,
Aye.
Alderman Rivera,
Aye.
Alderman Houston,
Aye.
Alderman Boyd. Aye.
Motion carried. Item E, motion to adopt a resolution accepting a grant from the State of Illinois Fiscal Year 2023 American Rescue Plan Act in the amount of $450,000 to fund programs and services to prevent violence in the community. Let's see. With the sponsorship of Illinois State Representative Rita Mayfield, the City of Waukegan has received a $450,000 grant from the State of Illinois to fund programs and services to best provide avenues for the prevention of violence in the city. Included in the city's program will be the stationing of additional officers at community-sponsored events to prevent the initiation of violence, attendance or assistance to youth violence prevention programs such as the Boys and Girls Club of Waukegan, present gang and drug awareness in the schools to help identify at-risk juveniles, as well as gang suppression in Waukegan and surrounding areas of Lake County, Illinois. Funding is available through December 2026. However, City anticipates full use of the grant within 1 year, July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. Can I get a motion on the floor?
I'll motion.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Rivera, second by Alderman Florian. Are there any questions to this motion? I think we kind of discussed it a little bit with the last item, and I think when we had our briefing this week with Alderman Hayes, we had also touched on a little bit about education. There's so much money in the trades. Every student is not going to go to college. And if they can be exposed to some of the trades, electricians, plumbers, masonry, any of that. They can create a business for themselves, entrepreneur, something that will sustain them and take care of their family, and possibly create a path for their children to leave an inheritance for your children's children. So, yeah, it's good that everyone goes to college if they can, but some can't. And if we can supply another avenue for them, introducing them to another pathway where they can create wealth for themselves, I think it's a plus too.
I'd just like to comment, I'd like to thank Senator Johnson and State Representative Mayfield for bringing these funds to our community and helping us address these issues.
Yes. And the staff that's going to be working on trying to make sure that we implement and use this monies for what they have been earmarked for, so that we don't lose the grant that we have and be able to use them through next year. Are there any other questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Houston.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo. Aye.
Motion carried. Item F, motion to adopt the ordinance amending the annual budget and appropriation ordinance for fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2022 and ending April 30th, 2023. Okay, upon examination of the financial statements and accounts for the city of Waukegan following completion of the prior fiscal year, April 30th, 2022, but after passage of the budget and appropriations ordinance for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2022, it has been determined to be in the best interest of the city to transfer the sum of $6 million from the general fund to the fixed asset replacement fund to meet the asset replacement needs of the city's various operating departments and to fund necessary building improvements. At the present time, due to lack of available fund balance and without identifiable revenue streams, the fixed asset replacement fund shows no expenditures appropriated for fiscal year 2023. The transfer from the general fund will create the first of anticipated annual transfers of a portion of unassigned fund balance from the general fund to the fixed asset replacement fund for the replacement of aged and fully depreciated assets and for ongoing maintenance and improvements to the city's public facilities. Can I get a motion on the floor? Motion by Alderman Moiseo.
I'll second.
Second by Alderman Rivera. Are there any questions to this motion? Alderman Florian.
I'm curious, it says 6 million here. Didn't we have 11 million originally to put in here? I'm sorry, what?
The balance that remains in the general fund to maintain the fund balance at approximately 25% of operating costs.
Okay. So, but wasn't that the whole point of transferring this to, so it wouldn't just be used for general expenses?
My target is always going to keep 3 months of reserves in the general fund, so 25%. By reducing the general fund by the 6 million, we get the 25% now. And that'll be the seed money for the fixed asset replacement fund, started off at 6 million. Next year, we have available fund balance beyond the 25%, we transfer that into fixed asset replacement fund as well.
Okay. I guess I'm just, I'm,
$6 million will be going into the fixed asset fund. We use $1 million. Part of this budget amendment is to appropriate $1 million for building improvements and $1 million for public works vehicles and equipment.
right?
And that'll be $4 million in that fund year round. The other part of the amendment to the budget is to recognize the revenue source from the 2 grants that you just said. Now we have to recognize that revenue.
Right, I understand that. So if the balance in the general fund goes up enough that we have 3 million, or I mean, we have 3 months of money sitting there, and we have the extra money, we can then transfer the extra 5 into
And we transfer to the fixed asset account.
okay. So the next finance committee meeting, you'll give us a report of where we're at on that 3 months target? Okay, thank you.
Are there any more questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo. Aye. Alderman Houston.
Aye. Motion carried. Item G, motion to adopt a resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the purchase of long lead time vehicles and equipment for public works in the aggregate amount of $350,000. We can hear you, Alderman Florian. Excuse me.
There was an error when, between Corporation Council when we were putting this together with the Finance Department. And although the memo reflects that the actual amount to be authorized is $1 million, the resolution that was actually put into the packets says only $350,000. The $350,000 is specifically for equipment, with an additional $650,000 being for the vehicles that are listed in the exhibits to the resolution. So earlier today, the Finance Department distributed a replacement resolution which clarifies that the aggregate amount is $1 million.
Right. Yeah, we got the amendments here. So that's, amendment is 1 million. Okay, aggregate amount is $1 million. Do we have to vote on the amendment first?
What you could do, I mean, as the 350,000 was put into the packet, I think that's a good idea to accept the amendment.
Okay. I take a motion to amend, adopt the resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the purchase of long lead time vehicles and equipment for public works in the aggregate amount of $1 million. Can I get a motion to amend?
I'll motion.
Motion by Alderman Rivera.
Seconded.
Second by Alderman Hayes. Roll call.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo. Aye. Alderman Houston.
Aye. Motion carried. So now we can adopt the motion to adopt a resolution waiving competitive bidding and authorizing the purchase of long lead time vehicles and equipment for public works in the aggregate amount of $1 million. Can I get a motion?
I'll motion.
Alderman Rivera. Alderman Hayes, second. Roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Houston.
Aye.
Alderman Moiseo. Aye.
Motion carried. Item H, motion to adopt a resolution approving a professional services agreement with Deegan and Associates, LLC, for engineering, design, and procurement services for Waukegan Beach CDBG accessibility project in the amount of $23,000. City Council's approval is requested to enter into a professional service agreement with the Deegan Group for the initial design, bid, and procurement services for the Waukegan Municipal Beach CDBG accessibility project. This agreement will be for an amount not to exceed $23,000 using funds available in the municipal beach budget. Can I get a motion? Alderman Moiseo.
I'll second.
Second by Alderman Rivera. Are there any questions to this motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Moiseo, aye. Alderman Houston.
Aye.
Alderman Rivera.
Aye.
Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item 3 is reports and communications. In light of the time, 5:30, each one has gotten a little snippet of, on your desk, the points, high points for the reports. If anyone doesn't have any problems with finance not going over all the reports right now and accept this, if you have any questions, you can always contact Mr. Schultz. Or does anybody have any questions right now? Being none, I'll take a motion to adjourn at 5:30.
I'll motion.
Motion by Alderman Rivera,
Second.
second by Alderman Florian. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.